But first, in a series of tweets yesterday, the president attacked 4 freshman Democrats in Congress: Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib. He called them anti-American. Cable news has been going bonkers ever since. The consensus in Washington is that Trump made a mistake by once again making the story about himself. Maybe that's true. Time will tell. But there's another way to look at it. By singling out these 4 members of Congress, the president also highlighted their prominence in the Democratic Party. 6 months ago, these were just 4 young lefties in a sea of 235 House Democrats. Now, they are the Democratic Party. If you don't believe it, you must have missed the press conference they just held, which all the channels took live. They said a lot, which will help define the Democratic Party going forward. Here, for example, is Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts explaining that the president is not really the president.
Remarks from the occupant of our White House. I will always refer to him as the occupant, as he is only occupying space. He does not embody the grace, the empathy, the compassion, the integrity that office requires and that the American people deserve.
So if you're not compassionate, according to this member of Congress, you are illegitimate. This president is illegitimate, she says, because the 2016 election itself was illegitimate. It didn't go the way Democrats wanted, so of course it must have been rigged. 3 months after the Mueller report showed otherwise, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota repeated today the conspiracy theory that the president colluded with Russia. Watch.
This president, who has been credibly accused of committing multiple crimes, including colluding with foreign government to interfere with our election.
It went on like this. Just days after a terror attack on an ICE facility driven by their irresponsible rhetoric, the group repeated the insinuation that border detention facilities, far from being created by the Obama administration, are in fact a brand new atrocity created out of nothing by the Trump people, and they're a crime against humanity. Watch.
Keeping children in cages and having human beings drinking out of toilets.
He can't look a child in the face, and he can't look all Americans in the face and justify why this country is throwing them in cages.
It was a big day. Earlier in the day, new party leader Ilhan Omar was asked about a recent terror attack committed by the left, and she pointedly refused to condemn it. Watch this.
Will you condemn the Antifa attack in Washington over the weekend? It's easy to condemn terrorism. Will you condemn it?
Is it clear?
Antifa firebombed a facility in Tacoma over the weekend. It's an ICE facility. Will you condemn them for that?
It's not hard, but she didn't do it. Why didn't she? Because progressives love it. They love this whole thing. They think moments like the one you just saw are helping their cause. They're thrilled when Ilhan Omar and the rest give the finger to their many political enemies. The problem is, Twitter is not America. Twitter is a tiny, foul-smelling sewer where unhappy people share their fever dreams. The rest of the country is a very different place, and the rest of the country finds that kind of rhetoric disgusting. Even the majority of Democrats are unnerved by it. Look at the polls. When Ilhan Omar is talking, Democrats are losing. Again, when Ilhan Omar and Ocasio-Cortez and the rest, when those 4 people are talking, Democrats are losing. They don't know that yet on Twitter. They'll find out at some point, probably soon. John Miller is the host of White House Brief, and he joins us tonight. John, thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me, Tucker.
So, look, whatever you think of the president's tweets or whatever you think of the president tweeting in general, I'm against it. I've said that before. I have no control, of course. But whatever you think of that, the response to his most recent tweets is to elevate these 4 members of Congress to the position of being the face of the Democratic Party.
Right, and it shows that this is the new Democrat Party, but they're complaining about the president's racism. I honestly think, first of all, this president has done more to help people of color than any of them ever have. You know, anyone in the squad. I mean, just on the economic front alone, I mean, his economic policies are absolutely a smashing success. And so he's working, and they're organizing these press conferences around a tweet. I mean, don't they at some point put this into proportion and say this is a little bit ridiculous, maybe we should get to work?
The president's a racist. He's a racist.
He's a racist, confirmed.
Right. That sounds familiar. White nationalist.
Right.
Worse
Nazi,
than Hitler.
whatever one.
He's today one of the channels informed us, I happen to have it on in my office, he is more a racist than the Nazis. So,
great.
Okay, they've been saying this for 3.5 years. He got elected anyway. Wouldn't the lesson be, no matter how much they may believe it, I doubt they really do, but let's say they believe it, it doesn't have any effect. Like, it doesn't get you the White House, this rhetoric. So why are they still using it?
It's a great question. I'm not sure I can answer it for you. But, I mean, I'm really confused by the fact that they're talking about, oh, the president is so un-American. We're the American ones. Ilhan Omar, has she condemned al-Qaeda? She wouldn't condemn communism. She wouldn't condemn al-Qaeda in that press conference. So that's really disturbing. And most of them are anti-Semites that were up on that stage. And they're sitting there saying, we can't tell why people think we're un-American. That might be why. Those ideas might be why, and yet they're still trying to portray the president as un-American. I would say they've had it flipped around.
So I know you're not much of a Democrat. We're going to speak to our old friend Richard Goodstein in just a minute, and who is a legitimate Democrat, and I don't think a crazy person. I'm going to ask him this question, but I'm interested in your perspective, too. If you're Nancy Pelosi, if you're Steny Hoyer, if you're someone who actually is in charge of the Democratic Party, and you're looking on at your leadership being usurped by people who've been there for about 20 minutes and are untethered from reality and public opinion, what do you think of that?
I think it shows, the poll numbers show it. The poll numbers where Ilhan Omar, she has 9% with swing voters.
Yeah.
Alejandro Ocasio-Cortez has 22% with swing voters. I mean, that should show you that the American people are not are not where they think they are. And I think Nancy Pelosi is starting to realize that. I think it's starting to scare her.
Yeah.
Because these people have been the intellectual leaders of the Democrat Party, and now they're realizing, oh, the American people actually doesn't agree with that. And like you said, Twitter is not actually representative of
Nancy
the American
Pelosi
populace.
has been working in one way or another for the Democratic Party for like 70 years.
Right.
She's 79.
She
You know, her dad was in
yeah.
politics. And you get to the end of your career, the apogee of it, you're Speaker of the House, and these people swoop in. Like,
are the intellectual leaders.
It's unbelievable. John, thank
It really
you.
is.